Are we ready?
Right.
Welcome to our special edition of the She Will podcast.
Woo!
Today we're going to do some movie reviews that we've been promising.
Promising and reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Do people still go to the movies?
Based on what I saw when I went to the movie, I was one of like four.
4 people?
In both movies.
So people
But of course, I would go during the day.
Like, I'll wait till Amazon Prime.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, but you know, we want to. So if you're waiting for Amazon Prime, then this isn't very late on one of the movies.
What do we have?
We have, the first movie we're going to do is Missing.
Missing.
Yes.
Nia Long.
And who else? The other young lady. She's up and coming.
Oh, yeah. She's a brilliant young actress.
Okay, Storm Reid.
Reid. That's a transgender name.
Are we ready? Do we start all over or do we?
No. I'll cut it.
Okay. Missing.
Nia Long.
Yes.
Nia Long.
And don't forget Storm Reid.
Storm Reid, a brilliant upcoming actress.
Brilliant.
But she also co-stars in Euphoria.
That's
she
what plays
really Zendaya's little sister. Oh, her and Zendaya kill it.
They look like they could be sisters. That's good casting. I like that casting. Now let's get to Missing, where Storm Reid and Nia Long are the stars.
Right.
It's only available in theaters at this time.
Uh-huh.
And
old school.
Nia Long, yeah. Nia Long plays the mother.
Nia Long's the mother.
I think that's pretty decent casting. She looks like, I guess she could be her mother.
Yeah, and then the dad is white.
Right.
You know, so she's a mixed child.
You're right. And Nia kind of has this Asian look, so I think and so does Storm.
Works.
So it works.
Yeah, it works.
So good casting for the mother and the daughter.
Casting, give it a B, B+.
They did a good job.
The villain, which we'll get into, I think is good casting too. You
like him as the villain? Okay, all right. So do you want to set it up?
Yeah. So Missing, we have a story. Basically, synopsis is a single mother and her teenage daughter, who's 18. Single mother meets a new guy who is a possible stepfather after her biological father passed from, say, cancer, I think it was.
Was it cancer?
It was a cancer type of thing 10 years prior.
Mm-hmm.
And so the mom's dating a new guy who is played by Sang. Sorry, I'm not going to say his name right, but he was the villain in Rush Hour. Chucho!
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him.
Recognize him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the villain in Rush Hour.
He aged a little.
He aged, yeah.
Okay.
And he's always supposed to be the 43 in the movie.
Yeah, and Nia was 43 in the movie,
which she could pull off, but...
Yeah, interesting.
So yeah, so the new stepfather, takes Nia along on a trip vacation to Colombia, and the teenage girl,
her name is Grace.
Nia Long is Grace.
Yes, Nia Long is Grace.
Nia Long is Grace, and the teenage daughter, played by Storm Reid, gets to stay at home, which I mean, any teenagers. June, like that's
a teenager's dream.
You're gonna go where for how long? A party. I know.
Yeah.
I did my fair share of that when my dad went out of town.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
I just never. Well, first of all, we just didn't have that kind of setup when I was growing up.
Uh-huh.
But I never understood why people do that. I guess I'm too practical.
Practical.
Practical meaning how can? Okay, I remember the movie 16 Candles.
And
they had the party. Like, how do you recover the house?
You recover the house.
Did you see that movie 16 Candles?
No, I never seen that. I know. I'm sorry.
I gotta give it to you.
But
okay.
So and the thing is, when you're that age, you're not worried about that. You don't get fired. But in the movies, they exaggerate the trashing of the house. You don't invite people that you know is gonna be like that. But so all it was just my friends and people from school, and it was never trashed. The house would never be trashed, but. Man, yeah, anytime Dad went out of town, I was like...
It's on. He didn't even care, though.
He wouldn't care, yeah.
He didn't care. Yeah. I guess he was cool like that. Okay, so back to June. Her mom is out of town, and she's arranging to get the alcohol. She's using the money that her mom gave her for, And I thought the incidentals of $350, that's pretty awesome.
Right?
I mean, because I would give my son like 100.
I was like, what does Grace do for a living?
I mean, I'm like, wow, like I'm slipping.
Yeah,
so she gives her $350 for incidentals for a week.
And she does 100 and $42 or $72 for alcohol.
I don't recall the amount.
Yeah.
But they got the alcohol.
Right.
So they're arranging for the party. The party's happening. And the interesting thing was they waited to do the party to the night before her mom was to return.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was...
Yeah. Sunday night? Really?
Yeah, why would you wait?
Okay.
I guess I'm too practical because I'm thinking, get time to clean it up.
Time to clean up.
I mean, I'm just...
Rest day.
I think that's always my problem. Maybe that's the fun snatch.
Teenagers, Sheila. Teenagers. Teenagers.
I can't. I don't know. I'm too far. Oh, even when I was... Okay, but anyway. Even when I was a teenager. But... Okay, so she wasted the night before to have her party. Mm-hmm. She has her party. She gets wasted. Teenage wasted. And she wakes up at the same time that she's supposed to pick her mom up
from the airport. So she rushes. She gets ready. Goes to the airport to pick up her mom. Writes a sarcastic sign. "Welcome home from prison, Mom," to the airport. Which, at that point, I'm like, she's at LAX. Where did she find parking? How did she park? To go inside.
I mean, like, why would you park?
Why would you park?
You know, everything's so expensive.
But I don't know. She parked somewhere.
She's a teenager. She just doesn't know.
She paid $20 for 30 minutes parking. And she writes a sign, and she ended up waiting for her mom. Her mom never shows up.
I don't know how she got out of the parking lot. Because she didn't have the money.
Right. There was no more money.
I'm just saying. That's the practical side of me. But anyway, she got stuck in the airport.
Yeah, so she's waiting. She's waiting. She had to follow out behind somebody when it raises up. I used to do that. Just right behind them. You know, the thing's not going to close on you if you right behind them.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now her mom is not showing up. And I didn't even notice that sign. She said, "Welcome home from prison."
Yeah, "Welcome home from prison, Mom."
Oh, interesting. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But I did wonder why she had a sign because
she was being sarcastic.
Because that was the whole thing. She was very sarcastic. And prior to her mom leaving, her mom was telling her, "Oh, clear out your voicemail in case I need to call you." And like a typical teenager, she wasn't very responsive. She didn't do what the parent wanted her to do. Mom sends out messages, expressing herself, "Love you," and all that stuff. And she would just like the text message. So she just really wasn't giving her anything.
Right.
So now she's at the airport with her sarcastic sign. Mom doesn't show up.
Okay, so why didn't she call her mom? That's one thing.
Yeah.
She didn't call.
She didn't call?
She just waited.
Well, maybe her mom didn't answer.
Maybe, but they didn't show that. She was recording on her phone. Okay.
She called everybody else.
Missing is, I might put this in the beginning, but Missing is one of those films where it's all shot from point of view of a electronic camera. So there's no actual performance shots. They're all from, say, a laptop camera or a phone camera or a security camera. And I didn't know the movie was going to be that when I went.
Wait a minute, was everything that way?
Everything was that way. You didn't notice?
I did not notice.
Wow. See, because that's what I wonder. So for me, I didn't know the movie was going to be like that. And when I saw that it was going to be like that, I didn't like that. Mm-hmm. Only because that's been done before and it's no longer creative to me.
Well, this is kind of like a sequel.
Oh, is this a sequel to
yeah.
So when it was done before, it was
what was it?
The other movie.
Okay, what was the name of that?
It's the same. I was gonna ask. Is it the same director, producer?
So. I'm gonna let me check
research.
The researchers.
Yeah, it'll get it pretty fast there.
Yeah.
They already informed you of pure macho to Lakers.
Yeah, I'm getting data. They're telling me about trades that are going on.
That's right.
My researchers are on point.
So they'll be back quick.
All right. So I did not recognize that, but it's not. Oh, the first one was called Searching. They're so quick. These researchers searching.
That was with the Asian guy too. Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So the first one was Searching.
Okay, now it makes more sense.
Okay, this is the sequel, Missing. Okay, so it's the same concept. It's all done the same way. I did not realize the cinematography was the way
it's all through the scope of
the technology.
Okay. The lenses of the technology that we have around the house every day.
Okay.
Smart technology. There's no actual performance shots. Okay. I didn't know it was the sequel to Searching.
Okay, I knew that.
And I thought Searching, I got that it was a creative thing to do with the cinematography. And missing now that I know that it's a sequel, I'll let up on it a little bit. Because it's the same people, same concept. Okay, gotcha.
Right.
Now.
Okay, so here we are. So she's not calling her mother. We don't understand why. She should be blowing up her mom's phone, but she's reaching out to everyone else, standing there with the sign. Oh, and then we have to mention that there was a Heather, her mom's friend, was actually babysitting her. Sort of, kind of.
Checking in on her,
which I thought she was doing a horrible job checking in on her.
She was, which was leading you to be more the mystery, like, is this chick?
Yeah, I thought she wasn't legit.
Is she there for, is she a part of the...
Because when she was missing, when Grace was missing, she wasn't very helpful. She didn't come around. Right. It made it appear as if she was not really her friend. Okay?
Right, but in the end, it kind of makes sense why.
Exactly. Right. So I just say that to say that's when she reached out to Heather, and she was trying to find out if she had heard from her mom, right? Okay. So, and then she starts looking into what's his name, Ken?
So she goes home.
Okay.
So June goes home, immediately becomes concerned, and begins doing her teenage social media research / digging. Which is so easy, it seems like, for people that are savvy.
You should have been in this movie because you're going to do that research.
The research on social media?
Well, you research on, you know.
I'm sure I'm not as good as the Gen Zs, but, I'm better than you. I know that.
Well, I'm one of my Gen X. A lot happened between X and Z.
Are you X?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not a baby boomer?
No.
Okay, good.
They're older than me.
Okay. Gen X,
I'm X,
millennial, and then Z.
Yes.
Okay. So she's a Gen Z savvy researcher on social media. So she begins to first look into the boyfriend, Ken. And she begins to find out that maybe he's not who he's portrayed himself to be. She finds he has a criminal record. He's been incarcerated for basically being a con artist.
I guess so.
Tricking women out of money in the past. So then her next step is to figure out if that's what he's doing with her mother, which my first thought is, duh.
Yeah, and because it was a very odd pairing. Them being a couple. Heather said he was hot, but I didn't think he was hot. I didn't understand that attraction. And another thing that was interesting, when they were going on the trip and he tried to talk to June, did you notice how the mom kind of shut it down?
Shut it down. And that's playing into like, wait, is the mom is she controlling all of this?
Yeah. Because it was like, why did she shut it down? He was trying to share how he, was there for them, right? Loved them or whatever.
I think he wanted to tell June that he was going to propose on the trip. So this trip is special to me because I want to just let you know. And so what we find out when June is digging, she accesses live cameras in Colombia, is that Ken, the boyfriend, proposes to the mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that made her feel like, oh, he is legit. They were there having fun.
He's not conning my mom. They're missing because something actually happened.
Right.
Okay. And now is when we're going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you want to, fast forward. Thank you for the watch time so far. That's plenty. That's more than enough.
Yes.
But you're out of here.
Yes. So now let's get to the nitty gritty.
Spoiler alert!
Yes. So where should we start?
Ken, who's the boyfriend, he's been texting June from his phone, which is supposed to be his mom, sending her updates and pictures. They're sipping mocktails.
Yeah.
They're doing these activities.
But she doesn't even, because Tracy said cocktails and she doesn't drink, right?
She doesn't drink, so she adjusted it. In the pictures, the mom's Nia Long's face never shows, right?
It's just the hair and the brown skin.
But June is savvy. She's social media savvy. She gets a guy on TaskRabbit in Colombia to go investigate, kind of. Pays him to run errands, to check out the hotel, check out where they visited. Yeah, TaskRabbit's a real thing here, and then in Colombia it was something else.
Okay.
Ninja something. So he was doing that and finds that, yeah, they went here. He proposed to your mom here. Now here's the spoiler. All the stuff that he was doing, Ken, the boyfriend,
Yes.
hired an actress.
Yes.
To play Grace. The mom,
yes.
to make it seem like they're here, she's present, she's alive, she's fine, sending updates.
Right.
Because remember, June went through she had hacked Ken's email and thought he was cheating on her mom because he found a picture that said, "Oh, you're perfect."
Yeah, and most importantly,
that's a black woman.
You're perfect because you match her.
Because you look like her.
And she didn't. It was just all black women.
Right. I thought he had jungle fever, but no, he's a con man. He's a con artist.
You're perfect for what I need.
You're perfect for this job.
Yes.
Right? So he hires the actress to go to Colombia to pretend to be June's mother, and he's sending updates. Meanwhile, Grace never made it out of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Wow. Twists and turns. I'll give it. This movie had twists and turns. And I appreciate that in cinema. You said you were confused.
At the very end, I was confused. I had to send a message to my son and say, okay, what happened? Like, clarify. Because in the beginning, I guess we should say they were watching a TV show, right? Like a Netflix show, a crime drama show.
Unfiction on the,
Yeah, Unfiction?
Yeah.
So I guess that's important to note. They were watching that for me because I didn't notice that. Mm-hmm. An unfiction show, kind of like those true crime stories that we all love. The Datelines, the Fatal Attraction, all that, the Snap.
And you watch it thinking, I'll never be on there.
Yeah.
You know.
But then it really affects your life too, because now all of a sudden, everything you do, you think of the
doors.
Yeah. Remember when I was on the freeway and that lady wanted help?
You were like, hell no.
No.
You know, she said hell. She wanted to say hell.
Go on without me. No, man.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a phone?
Right. This is a setup. I'm going to be on
Dateline. Not me, okay? Yeah, so they're watching that, and that's the part I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Because at the end, they were doing it again. I was like, did this all happen? Like, that's what I was confused about. Did it happen, or were they watching the movie?
The thing is, they're on the, now, when you watch those true crime, you never thinking you'll be a part of it. Now they're a part of it. So they're telling their story.
Okay.
They're telling, on the Netflix show they're watching is an adaptation of their story.
Okay.
So, yeah, their story was real.
Okay. Well, now I was told that. I was like, I just had to be clear.
Right.
So, in case any of you were feeling the same way as me.
So, digging even more into the plot of Missing, we discover that Nia Long never made it on the trip to Colombia. It was the boyfriend hired an actress to play her.
Right.
Why? Okay. Why? How?
Well, because the interesting part was early in the movie, Nia Long took a file from her laptop, and it was for June. For June. And it was her dad. It was a lot of files from her dad, videos from her dad.
Yeah.
She put it away, and we didn't know why exactly.
Right.
But turns out they didn't tell us he had cancer. We just assumed that
we assumed it was a sickness.
There was some sickness.
Yeah.
However, apparently there wasn't. And another interesting thing was when she called the number, Jimmy. Remember the church guy?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, she called her dad.
And then she's like, "Why did Ken come and see you?" And then he's like, "Did Ken tell you why? Maybe he doesn't want you to know yet."
Yeah.
So, but we didn't know that was June's dad she was speaking to at the time. Right. And we didn't know that June's dad is not dead.
Right.
Turns out, and I called this watching it though, Nia Long is a domestic violence survivor. Mm-hmm.
You knew that was it?
She goes to Los Angeles, changes her identity to get away from this violent man who's the dad of June. She withholds all this information from June for 10, 12 years.
Yeah, because June was attached to her dad.
Because June's attached to her dad. Which brings me to this question. Sheila, why do you guys do that?
Why do women?
Why do you guys do that? She had a relation. The little girl, she was like, how old was she?
I think she was 8.
8. She had a cool relationship with her dad. Obviously, she hid that her dad was beating her ass. Right. And then after, when she escapes her dad, she still protects the dad's image. Even going as far as to say the dad died. Sorry, baby. You'll always have great memories of him. He's a great guy, but we're relocating. When if you tell your child the truth, there's a way that you might not be able to be conned because your child is looking out for this when she gets older. Why do you guys feel the need to protect the image of somebody who's just a monster? If your dad has a lopsided head. That's the truth. Tell the kid, hey, your dad's perfect. That's the truth. Tell the kid, hey, we're having to. Why do you guys protect?
Why? Oh God, I don't know. I think when we have children and we become parents, and we do it after we get married and whatnot, we want that perfect situation for the children, and it's hard to accept maybe that it's just not perfect, and so it's hard to. When you want to give your child this perfect life, I'm sure it's hard to say, hey, it's so imperfect, and this guy, he's a monster, and he's your father, and so it's easier to run away from that.
Just doesn't seem safe.
So, yeah.
Has it been more of a you thing? Like, I can't admit to my child that I got us into this situation.
It's possible. It's possible.
It.
So, but I think parents, we all know that you kind of live and learn, and there's no manual, and you just do, like they said in Best Man, it's the best interest of the kids at that time. I'm sure she thought that was the best thing. Let's just get away. Let's just start anew and afresh, and he can't hurt us. He's in prison.
He's in prison.
He was in prison for 10 years, so they had time to get a head start. But here's the twist. So while he was in prison, which we didn't know he was still alive, he met Ken, who's the new boyfriend. So I guess their plan while they're in prison is, hey, I'm a con man. This woman called the police on you to put you in prison for 12 years. So when we get out, we're gonna establish this huge con. What's the ultimate goal? What's the ultimate goal? There's no money.
No money.
It's really just vengeance.
Which if I just got out of prison for 12 years and I ride with you that much, I'm going to just risk my freedom again just for your vengeance?
Yeah. That's really stupid.
But he did say in a message, I already paid you your money. So the white guy paid
him some money?
The Asian guy.
How much money can he possibly have? I not want you to suspend your disbelief, but how much money can he possibly have? So that's kind of weak.
And it ended up the Asian guy getting shot by the police in Colombia. So whatever money it was, it wouldn't work. So he didn't get it.
So he gets killed.
Yeah.
And then that's when the father comes on the scene. So she calls the church guy back. And, she calls the church guy back, doesn't she?
The church guy calls her.
Oh, okay, church guy calls her.
Out of nowhere. Who's her father, but she doesn't know.
She didn't know.
And he calls her and says, hey, have you talked to anyone? This is after, now we know he killed the best friend, Heather, who was babysitting June. And some other things have transpired. And everything's kind of died down. And he wants to get access to June.
Yeah, why? Why does he want to get why? Why at that time?
Why at that time? Because access to her, it seems like any time. Was it narrowing in on him, or I can't really.
That part doesn't really.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but it all had to happen in order for there to be this big crescendo,
right? For the finale.
So she comes to the house in his hoodie, and then he unveils himself, and she sees him in the ring, and she sees his face.
Wait, you're the guy from all the videos. You're the guy that had cancer.
Your dad.
Daddy? She's still calling him. That's where I say, hey, don't protect the guy, because if she would have just told her daughter, hey, we're running from this guy, he's dangerous, then you save your daughter from don't let him in the house.
You got a point there, brother.
That saves a
You
lot.
got a point.
That actually protects her more than whatever you think you're protecting her from. Because she thinks that this guy is just this angelic figure from her past, her dad, but really he's this murderer, abuser who's on the road for. If you just tell you, children can handle more than you think they can handle. Yeah, that's
true. They're resilient.
They're resilient and they're smarter than you think. So just tell them the truth. Sometimes you gotta talk to them like adults.
You got a point. That was a brilliant observation, brother. But I often said, like, I don't understand reality shows because they always have you go to lunch or dinner and then they have this big fight. And I wouldn't go. Someone said, well, you wouldn't have a reality show.
Well,
it wouldn't last long, whatever. So I guess if they would not protect the kids in this silly ways, we would not have this movie to review right now.
Yeah.
But that's a great point. I'm surprised I didn't think of that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of during the whole movie. I'm like,
why you
could just avoid this by just telling the truth. See,
that's the problem when you go to movies and you're so. And most of the time that stuff happens to me, but that part didn't cross my mind. Most of the time I'm like, that would never happen. How much money could they? I'm so busy thinking of all those things that I can't appreciate the value of the movie. Okay, so you got a point. So yeah, if she had told her, then she wouldn't open the door.
Right.
She would have called the police.
Yeah.
Or something.
Or she would have known automatically, like, oh, he's in this prison. Ken was in this prison. Boom. Yeah. Case solved.
You're right. So, but instead, she's kind of like, oh my God, my dad's here. He can help me.
He can help me. Guess what? Now daddy done tied up daughter.
But
put her in a trunk.
But he had to do that only because she caught on to him, right?
Trunk. Yeah, how did she catch on to him?
She caught on to him as he did something.
Because she was like, wait, you were in this prison?
Oh,
That's where Ken was.
Oh, yeah. She was
doing her investigating on Ken, she knew what prison he was in. And then when Dad shows up at her door all creepy, he's like, I'm not dead. I was in prison in Texas. She's like, wait, you were in
prison in Texas.
That's when she's like, oh my God. And she's like, get away from me. It's too late. It's too late.
Yes. So she put it together. And then he basically abducts her.
Puts her in a trunk. And that's one of those things. I didn't think I was claustrophobic or anything, but it's just like being in the trunk just makes me feel like,
Did you feel claustrophobic? You felt for her? You couldn't
imagine being in a trunk and you put your daughter in a trunk?
I would die.
Tied up too? Oh!
Like, what kind of man
I can't breathe.
Whoa. Okay, so then he gets to this. I don't know where that house was, man.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Why does that address? Why is that relevant?
LA. Yeah, like this is LA, and all of a sudden they're going to some. I don't know.
I don't know, but why did they use that number on the house? Remember the number on the house? It was somewhere. So was this house a place that they were familiar with?
Yeah, whose house was that?
Yeah.
Was it the dad's house?
But he was in.
He was in prison. It would have been like foreclosed or something.
That's not where they lived. They were from a different state, right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't understand the numbers for that
I didn't
house.
think about that because they were supposed to be in a whole different state.
So if any people know,
can you
please
comment
and let us know.
Be like, hey guys, you guys missed this. Duh.
Yeah, because there's a lot of little pieces that we have to put together, and we missed that.
But you're right. Why would that house be in a drivable distance?
And why was it on some other report, the 44561 or something like that, where she told someone to look it up? Remember, she had homeboy,
she told the
guy
the
in
Task
Mexico.
Rabbit guy
or Colombia.
Same shit.
It's not the same. Yeah. That's how black people from Inglewood are. Okay, I'm just gonna.
The Korean motherfucker, the Chinese motherfucker.
So bad. It's not right.
He's Mexican.
Okay, he's Colombian. Anywho, so anyway, so then she gets through the house, and then this is where it gets ridiculous now as I talk through it. So the mother's there.
Uh-huh.
So the mother's been held captive all this time. What is the purpose of her captivity?
There's no ransom. Why? If you wanted to kill her,
Yeah.
Was your plan all along to
bring them together
and see, like, hey, and then kill her in front of the child?
Why would you? I mean,
why would she still be in captivity? We
don't know. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of stupid.
And then they let her out, and he was like, "Y'all stay in this room. I'm gonna go order some pizza or something." I don't know.
They left them in the room together. Now you know they're gonna do everything they can
to get out. And now they got two minds.
Yes.
And that's what ends up happening. The mother and the daughter figure out a way to.
She cuts her loose, right? Doesn't she cut her loose?
Yeah. Who? The mom cuts June loose.
I thought
cuts the daughter loose.
Okay.
The guy comes, and the daughter has this smartwatch she had on to record. She's like, "Oh, I can call the police or something, or somebody on my smartwatch," but she only had access to Wi-Fi or WhatsApp, so she WhatsApped the guy in Colombia to do a task for her, final task, which is tell me the address of this picture.
Yeah, what is the picture?
This is the address. He tells her, and then she's like, "Okay, great." Now,
can I insert that?
Mm-hmm.
The important part from this watch was that when she had the party, one of the party goers had left the watch.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I don't know where it is." And
he kept bugging her about getting it back.
Yeah, all throughout the movie.
Ends up,
helping her. Yes, that she has his Apple Watch on.
Because the cinematography, they can only film through a technology lens, so that was one of the shots. Was from her smartwatch, because they can't just show us what's going on.
Right.
Whatever.
There's whatever you need to get that edge, right? Because
it's your creative edge.
Whatever. That's what we talked about previously. Just being creative and doing something different.
Yeah.
And that's this is the second time they've done that. A lot of shows are doing that now, where they're working through text messages, and showing it on the screen. They even did that in Best Man, right? They showed the text message. Okay, so now they're there, and so now they're fighting to get away from him, right?
They're fighting, and she, the whole time, I knew the end. I knew all she had to do was, so when he abducts her, she leaves her cell phone on the counter where her laptop is, and she had already accessed the security cameras to this place that they're now being held at. Through the security camera, all you had to do is say, "Hey Siri," and her phone will activate. Because they did the play on the "Hey Siri" with the mom. Oh, sorry.
Hello.
See? All she had to do, because they did a play on that with the mom, like, being old and not knowing, like, she's like, "Hey Siri," she's like, "Mom, you're already." They did a callback. So now all she has to do is say, "Hey Siri," and then Siri can access her phone at home through the laptop, through the security camera, because security cameras have audio, and she can say, "Hey Siri, call." I don't want you to do it, but call. Right. So yeah, that's what she ended up having to do.
Yeah, and then the police showed up, but not before Not June. Grace was shot.
So, why did he shoot her in
the side?
The side abdomen. Was he trying to take out her kidney?
Stupid. I mean, so there's some aspects are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, but I guess that's what you have to do and have this thriller. Yeah. Is this a thriller?
It's a thriller, yeah.
Okay. I thought Nia Long did a good job. Yeah. I thought her being a mom, like being the protective mom, once her daughter got there, she kind of stood up and she became more assertive and like, I'm going to protect my daughter. She's continued to protect her daughter.
That's right.
I like that. And then I felt with June, I felt like she had no emotions. Did you catch that? Like, I didn't feel like if my mother didn't show up, I'd be crying. I'd be like scared.
A teenager now?
You mean to tell me you think they don't ever have any? I mean, but that's behind. But
if you went missing, Jaden would be like, "Oh man, that's mid, bro."
Dead A.
I mean, he would care, but the emotions wouldn't.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's not like all of a sudden he's It'll be Angela Bassett. I don't want you.
Please
I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. There's that. That's not gonna come out all of a sudden. So no, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
I've been around enough teenagers.
I can't, and I've been around teenagers too. But I'm thinking like behind the scenes, don't they have emotions?
No.
Oh my gosh. Well, that bothered me, okay? I felt like, can you give me a tear? Like, your mom's not coming back. Your $350 is gone. What you gonna do now? If nothing else, your meal train, is gone.
Well, maybe it's because kids don't really care about parents that much.
Okay. All right. So anyway, the 911, the police come, the cavalry comes, they rescue them. Right?
Right, and now the whole, was this lady Nia Long faking her own disappearance?
Oh yeah, we didn't.
Which was a thing to that throughout the movie because they found out she changed her identity. Yeah. So they're like, oh, she's just doing another thing, running from somebody. But now we know at the end she changed her identity to get away from her abusive husband, who was June's father. And now we know that, believe black women, when they come up missing, they're missing.
Yeah,
okay? Don't make it seem like, oh, well, she probably,
she don't want to be found.
Don't want to be found. Somewhere getting high.
They say black and brown women, when they are missing, they don't give it a lot of exposure.
Yeah, so the fact that on this one, it's on CNN, like, oh, is she really,
they turned it on her. They flipped it on her, and they made it seem like she had this past.
That is so racist.
You think it was racist?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Shoot.
All right. Okay. So then this is the part that confuses me, and I like this at the end. So they're texting, and they just have a totally different dynamic between the mom and the daughter.
Once they're reunited.
Once they're reunited, and she gets patched up at the hospital. Right. She recovers from her
side
injury.
It's just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound. Even though she passed out at the time, maybe she's in shock. I thought she was supposed to be dying. There was no blood. I don't think I saw any blood. Okay, so now they're back. Life is good, and she's got what's her name? June has a whole new look. I thought. Did you notice that? Like she had the ribbon on her head. Oh. She had a little makeup. I guess we hadn't seen her looking like this.
She cares about life. Huh?
She's caring. She's life. She's vibrant, and when her mom is texting her, she's responsive.
Ooh.
She's responsive. So
now she appreciates her mother.
She's appreciating her mom. I like that. And then there was even a little joke where she was like, "Love you" or something, and the mom just liked it. The
daughter said, texted, "Love you."
Yeah.
And the mom just liked it.
So they kind of flipped it, but it was much more. The relationship seemed a lot more connected at that point, and I guess because they had been through something, and now they're connected and they're happy, and I like that part because it showed the teenager not taking the mom for granted anymore.
Right.
And accepting her.
Yeah. And what I thought watching the movie was a possibility was that the takeaway from this movie is going to be the mom staged this kidnapping crime just to get the daughter to give a damn about her. Just to get these teenagers to show some appreciation. It take you almost oh no, mama's gone. Oh, now you appreciate mom. So I was like, watch that be the takeaway.
You just gave me emotion. Oh, mama's gone, didn't you?
Where's mom at, bruh? Mom is out here sick, bruh, dead ass.
Okay, well, so
mom is so mid.
Mid?
Yeah, mid.
What's that mean?
Like, sucks, bland, or like not
mom's
good.
emo? Do they say that?
No. Mid.
Okay, mom's mid.
That's so mid. It's like you would say.
Middle of the road, like that's so average.
Yeah, they'd be like, man, Anthony Davis's The Game is so mid.
Okay, yeah, he's so mid. Okay.
Now mom's not mid anymore because you almost lost her, and now you realize, hey, let me show this woman some damn respect.
Yeah, especially knowing what she's been through with that man and how she tried to protect you. But maybe she'll talk to her and say, "Yo, next time, tell me,
please.
We won't have all these problems.
Open the door for a freaking serial killer." Jesus Christ, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Just because you don't want to admit that you dated this nigga.
Oh, man. And then at the end, they are on a crime show, a true crime show.
Yeah.
So basically, they started off watching one, and then the second part was they were watching their show on Netflix. That's what confused me. That's when I was like, wait a minute.
Did it happen?
Did this really happen?
No. It's like, Sheila, it's a true crime show.
I know, but I had to reach out to my researcher.
Yeah.
To clarify.
Bruh.
Did you watch the movie? I was there for 90 minutes, and I was like,
your attention span is so mid, bruh.
Absolutely. Yes. So, okay. So, is it worth the investment of time? Are you invested in it? Did you even like it?
Is it worth going to the movies to see? I would say yes. Because it has all-star cast. It has twists and turns, and it has a shot from a unique perspective. You don't need to go to the movies to see, the cinematography of a laptop camera, but the twists and turns of the story, you'll be interested to see what happens next, to kind of figure it all out.
And it was the right amount of time. Sometimes these movies just deter me from going because they're too long, and this was like 90 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So it was perfect. It my ADD or whatever didn't kick in, which I'm not ADD, but sometimes.
Right.
But so I think I think I would recommend it. It's entertainment. It's something to do, and so yeah.
All right, and then with that, we're closing. Overall grade,
I'll give it a 7.
7 out of 10. Okay, 7 out of 10. I think that's kind of mid, bruh.
I mean, it wasn't like it was great.
But I would give it a 7, 6.5, 7.
Okay, it's kind of mid. Yeah. But it's hard to get to a 10, guys. It's hard. It's gonna take some real work to get to a 10. Like, I don't know. Only 10 I have right now was like A Few Good Men. That was a 10 for me. Silence of the Lambs.
Get Out.
Oh, Get Out. That was good. So it's gonna be hard to get to that.